excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me, because today we are doing something a little fun. I have brought the spinner wheel back out, and we will be choosing my winter TBR. So for me, the winter months are December, January, and February. We will just be doing a couple spins to see, pick a TBR for those months. And the second part of this video will be me offering winter / holiday recommendations for you. So there's gonna be a lot of yapping going on, and I don't want to hold you too long, so let's go ahead and get into the first spin. So for our first spin, we ended up getting romance, and for that one I'm going to choose one that's relatively new to just being on my radar and my TBR, and that is Dating Jessica Brown by T. Ashley. This says it's a witty, whimsical, sapphic rom-com about bad dates, blurred lines, and the courage to risk rewriting your own ending. We have Jessica Brown, who can write a love story. She just can't seem to live one. At 35, she's juggling deadlines, writer's block, and her too honest best friend, Adrian. When he pushes her into a dating app, Jessica expects creeps, bad wine, and worse conversations. What she doesn't expect is for her fiction to start bleeding into reality. The dates she invents on the page begin to show up in real life, sometimes word for word. And when she matches with Sophie, a whimsical bookseller with secrets, and Monique, a confident gentle stud with a guarded heart, Jessica realizes the universe might be turning her drafts into destiny. And that sounds like the perfect book for me. You got a bookish person, an author, having her dates that she's written turn into real and it's sapphic. Okay, say less. I need to read this today. Our second spin got us trees on the cover, and for that I'm going to choose House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. And this is a warm and hopeful story about a lonely witch consumed by grief who discovers a whimsical cast of characters in a magical arboretum. Who good? That ate me up for a second. And the healing power of found family. Powerless witch Seika is ready to enact her sister's final request to plant her remains at the famed Ash Gardens. When Seika arrives at the always stormy sanctuary, she is welcomed by its owner, an enormous knit cardigan mythical beast named Frank, who offers her a role as one of the estate's caretakers. As Seika works harder in avoidance of her pain, she learns more about Frank, the decaying house at Ash Gardens, and the lives of the motley staff, including bickering twin cherubs, a mute ghost, a cantankerous elf, and an irritating half-witch, among others. Over time, she rediscovers what it means to love and be wholly loved, and how to allow her joy and grief to coexist. This, I feel like, is going to be a bit of a harder read, or one that kind of tugs at your heartstrings, and it's talking about grief and exploring that and loving yourself. And look, I don't know, this one might take me out. But I do feel like it also is going to be cozy enough and a little bit of and funny enough to kind of make it easier for me to get through. So yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I am. I can't promise you anything, but I'm thinking I can go into these vibes right now. Our third spin gave us a blue cover. And for the blue cover, I am going to go with Female Fantasy by Iman Hariri Kia. This was a 2025 release that I did not get to, but I am very excited to give a shot. And so why not just go ahead and throw it on one of my first TBRs of the year. And it says, is that a piece of dust? Come on now, don't be embarrassing me out here. We have Junie is living in a fantasy. At least that's what people keep telling her. A copywriter by day and fanfic auteur by night, Junie continues to date and dump disappointing men in search of a happily ever after. But every potential suitor seems to have one flaw in common. They can't hold a candle to her book boyfriend Reich, the protagonist of her favorite fantasy romance series, and notably a sexy merman. Reich is a symbol for the life Junie craves and the kind of relationship she deserves. So with a book always in her back pocket, why would she ever settle for less? And this is a self-aware dive into the concept of genre in a wild, steamy romp. Most of all, though, it's a heartfelt love letter to romance readers everywhere. This is going to be something different and something that I really enjoy, at least hopefully anyway. So, yeah. The next prompt gave us an audiobook, and for that I will be choosing The Christmas Swap by Talia Samuels. And this is my kind of mess, okay? So we have Margot, who is a newly single, high-flying businesswoman with no interest in a cutesy seasonal romance. We have Ben, who is an unlucky in-love sweetheart in need of a woman to bring home for the holidays. So together they make a pact. Margot gets 2 blissful weeks away from London in a picture-perfect manner in exchange for posing as Ben's girlfriend. The story can only go one way, right? Margot is sure to fall in love for real, and she does, but with Ben's sister Ellie. Yep, sign me up. Our next prompt was a sequel, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself right now, but I just feel like winter. Oh, my eyes itching so bad. Excuse me, this looks gross, but yeah. I feel like winter is the time to really dive into the big books, the chunky books, the fantasy books. And so I think I'm ready to dive back into this series and read The Battle Drum by Sarah Ella Reefy. And this series, the Ending Fire series, I read The Final Strife in 2025, and it was such an incredible story. Like it was amazing, but it was also very hard to read. There were a lot of heavy topics going in. At times it was just plain out sad. It's frustrating. It's all the things, but in the best way possible. Like in the best way possible. And you just want everything to work out for these characters, and you know that it's likely not. And yeah, so I think I'm ready to dive back in to The Battle Drum and make some more progress in this. Everything about this series is amazing, but do check trigger warnings and everything like that, and take care of yourself, because there are a lot of things discussed and happening in that book that could trigger you. So yeah, this is what I'm going to pick for my sequel. In this world, we have 3 types of blood, and people are broken into castes, or whatever you want to call it. By that, we have the red bloods at the top, blue bloods in the middle, clear bloods at the very bottom. They are just, treated very awfully. And so of course there's a rebellion, and we love a rebellion. And yeah, so we're following a main character from each of the blood types and seeing, what life is like for them, and then working together and what side of the rebellion they just happen to be on. I just need to know. I need to know, and I think I'm ready. So the next prompt, I've lost count at this point. So yeah, but it is a holiday in the title of the book. So I chose I'll Be Gone for Christmas by Georgia K. Boone. And this is essentially like the movie The Holiday, if you have seen that. We have B. Tyler, who needs a break. In the bustling San Francisco tech community, no one ever seems to stand still, especially her perfect sister and business partner, Beth. So when her best friend suggests to get away on the wildly popular house swap app Vacate, B decides that a countryside retreat might be exactly what she needs. Clover has had a year between losing her mother and making the complicated decision to leave her fiance. Sticking around in the idyllic Christmas-obsessed town of Salem, Ohio just doesn't feel right. So when she hears about Vacate, she jumps at the chance to spend the holidays in the unfamiliar city of San Francisco. And this is also going to have a sapphic romance in it somewhere. And look, it just sounds good. Cozy Christmas vibes. I need all that right now. I counted. We're at number 8. Spin number 8 gave us the prompt of a small town setting. And for that, I am going to choose the Woodsmoke Women's Book of Spells by Rachel Greenlaw. And this says there is an old tale woven through the mountain town of Woodsmoke about a stranger who appears as the first snow falls in winter and disappears without a trace as the frost thaws in spring, leaving a broken heart behind. And you know, I love a witchy story. This also seems like it's going to be a bit of a girl and her granny type of book, and for some reason those just really hit for me. And yeah, apparently there's also going to be a romance, just all the things of a cozy witchy winter read that I need. So for the green cover, I decided to go with a TBR vet that I need to read, okay? And that is The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness. This is the 3rd book in the All Souls series. So instead of continuing on and reading this book in 2025, I decided to watch the show. It don't make sense. So yeah, I need to go ahead and read this book so I can catch up on the series. I now have 3 books that I need to read, and maybe even 4, because I don't know if the new one is going to be in 26 or 27. But look, I just need to catch up. I've been reading this series for way too long, so it's time. I just realized that I counted wrong. What is wrong with me, y'all? It's a day for sure. I definitely counted wrong. Yeah, because the Book of Life was number 8. The Book of Life was number 8. I'm going to stop at 10 because clearly my brain is checked out, but I need to have a good even number to end on. So let's do 2 more and then we done, okay? So for this prompt, we got fantasy. And baby, that was just broad. And sometimes broad prompts really work for me, and sometimes they are very stressful, okay? But I think I have decided on An Unlikely Coven by A.M. Kavita. This is a new release that I'm really excited about it, so I want to get to it as soon as I can. And this is a charming debut that introduces New York's most powerful family of witches and a world of secrets, spells, and supernatural shenanigans. After 7 long years, Joan Greenwood is coming home. Unfortunately, her family totally forgot about it. Overshadowing her return is the news that someone has created a spell that can turn an ordinary human into a powerful witch, threatening the Greenwood's place at the top of the magical world. When her best friend confesses that he has secretly, accidentally kidnapped this human-turned witch, Joan is thrust headfirst into a desperate race against her family to undo the spell before it does permanent damage to its unwilling host. And this is supposed to be a funny, cozy fantasy, a witchy book. I love that. That's my thing, y'all know. So I'm really excited about this one. And our last spin brought us one of my favorite prompts ever. I don't care if I got this prompt on every spinning wheel that I have ever done, like it's my favorite. And that is books about books and bookish people. So for that, I'm going to go with The Rewrite by Lizzie Damalola Blackburn. And this is an interesting setup. We have Timmy and Wale meet in London. They flirt, date, meet each other's friends, then they break up. And Wale goes on a reality dating show. Instead of giving in to heartbreak, Timmy throws herself into her dream, writing. She's within touching distance of a book deal that would solve all of her problems. But publishers keep passing on her novel, and bills still have to be paid. So when the opportunity to ghostwrite a celebrity memoir arises, Timmy accepts. And of course, the celebrity turns out to be Wale. Will Timmy and Wale repeat the patterns of their past, or can they write a whole new story? Now, it's given second chance, and you know, we know. I ain't even gotta tell you because I feel like I'm saying it in every video at this point. But like I said, some of them I feel like have an extra element that I might can get behind. We'll see. And that will be my winter TBR, friends. We struggled through it for a second, but we got there. We got there. Alrighty, y'all. Let us get into the recommendation part of this video. I don't have a lot, but I have a few. There are more if you check out the video that I made last year for Bookmas. I'll make sure to leave that in the cards at the end of the video, so you can check that out if you need more recommendations. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about some books. The first one that I want to talk about is Christmas in Spite of You by Casey Mills. I read this last year and I really fell in love with it, and it made it to one of my top books of 2024, which is surprising for Christmas books because they normally don't make it that far. But you know, she was up there. I really enjoyed this one. And we have a neat freak Scrooge and a Christmas loving ball of chaos must coexist for a week, and the friction and separation that ensue make the most magical time of year highly remarkable. And this was such a great time. It's a quick read as well. I think it's under 300 pages. Yeah, it is. And it read this book, okay? And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but these are going to be winter recommendations, not just holiday. I mean, most of them are holiday, but there's a couple of winter books that I have sprinkled into this as well. We have My December Darling by Lauren Asher, and this is a novella written in the same world as the Lakefront Billionaires, so like love redesigned. And I don't remember the other titles right now, but this one's following Catalina and Luke, and it is between a grumpy maid of honor and an outgoing best man, and they don't think that they are supposed to be together because the sister of, okay, let me break it down for you. I feel like that TikTok sound, but anyway, so Catalina's sister is marrying her ex-boyfriend. And so Luke is Catalina's ex's best friend. So they think that they cannot be together because of that relationship. But I'm gonna tell you off jump, if your sister can marry your ex-boyfriend, baby, you can be with whoever you want to be with. And that's no shade, no tea. But anyway, it was a time for sure. Then we have Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark, and this one has a little something for everybody. You know, it has 3 siblings, and among the 3 siblings, you will get something for you, okay? And so this is a queer holiday romance, and each sibling is at their own romantic crossroads, and they're in this really atmospheric Catskills manor around Christmas time. And it's not just romance, but I feel like there's also life things happening in this as well. And so you'll be able to, if you want something that's a little less hallmarky, corny Christmas, I think this is going to do that for you. You know, some heartfelt moments, some help me figure out my life, but also those romantic, cute, Christmassy moments as well. I had a great time with this, and you know, it was fun to follow the 3 siblings. I liked that, you know, you could tell the 3 siblings apart and you weren't confused on who was who. And yeah, overall, good time. Another one in the same vein of being, you know, fun and Christmassy, but also, you know, being heartfelt and having some substance to it. We have The Holidates by Brittany Cherry. And so, friends, we got a lot going on. We got Miss. Holly was literally left at the altar on Christmas Eve, and baby, there's some tea behind that. And then we have Kai, who decides to kind of be like a relationship coach for Holly, and then ends up, you know, getting a little jealous when his work actually works. And so yeah, it's a lot going on, but there's a lot of emotional moments in this as well. Like, you know, it tugged on my heartstrings, and it was a little more emotional and serious than I thought. But I still had a really good, fun time with this. Let's talk about Best Hex Ever by Nadia El Fassi. I think this is a great transitional book from fall into winter. It's actually more wintry. They have, you know, like a big Christmas theme to it towards the second half of the book as well. So, you know, you can read it in either of the seasons, I think, and be fine. And this follows a kitchen witch who has a penchant for baking and a literally cursed love life who meets someone who's worth breaking a hex for. And so we have Dina, who is a skilled kitchen witch. She runs her own London cafe serving magic infused treats. However, only a select few friends know about her magical abilities and the hex that has plagued her love life. It's hard to fall in love when your partner is guaranteed to have a string of bad luck the moment they develop feelings for you. Scott has returned from global travels, thrilled to embark on his new role as a curator at the British Museum. And he left London 2 years ago to recover from a devastating breakup. He realized how much he missed out on though while he was gone. His best friend's wedding is approaching, and he's determined to be the best man ever. Little does he know, Dina will be the maid of honor, who is actually the owner of his favorite cafe. So they have a weekend filled in the countryside, do some weird things, and, you know, try not to like each other, and, you know, eventually give into it. Fun time. And then I don't even think I actually have to mention this, but I'm going to do it anyway. We have The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. This is the 3rd book in the Dream Harbor series. Out of all of the ones that I've read so far, I do think this one is on the better end. Just my personal opinion. I had a fun time with Kira and Bennett. And yeah, I like this. We have Kira, who hates Christmas, which is unfortunate since she just bought a Christmas tree farm. And Bennett, who is on vacation in Dream Harbor, taking a break from his life in California. And most importantly, taking a break from his latest run of disastrous dates. And they meet each other, not necessarily liking each other to start off with. And they kind of get stuck, snowed in together. read it. It was fun. Now here's the thing. I might throw you off with this one. I might, because this book is usually recommended in the fall time because of the cover. But hear me out. Okay, hear me out. I'm going to recommend you read You Again by Kate Goldbeck in the winter. And I say that because this book has a recurring theme of New Year's being a very significant holiday. And when is New Year's? In the winter. Like, I know this cover tells you different, baby, but listen to me. New Year's is very important in this book, and I think that that's when you should read it. So when Ari and Josh first meet, the wrong kind of sparks fly. They hate each other. A free-spirited, struggling comedian, Ari likes to keep things casual and never sleeps over after hooking up. Josh, a born and bred New Yorker, has ambitious plans to take the culinary world by storm and find the one. They have absolutely nothing in common except that they happen to be sleeping with the same woman. Ari and Josh never expect their paths to cross again, but years later, they're both reeling from ego-bruising breakups. A chance encounter leads to a surprising connection, friendship. Turns out spending time with your former nemesis is fun when you're too sad to hate each other and too sad for hate sex. As friends without benefits, they find comfort in late-night Netflix binges, swiping through each other's online dating profiles, and bickering across boroughs. Until one night, the unspoken boundaries of their platonic friendship begin to blur. Give it a shot in the wintertime and see what you think and let me know. Then, friends, I have a romantasy for you, and that is Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. This is this second book in the Princess of Sin series, but this is a series of standalones. Each book is completely contained story of its own, and you don't necessarily have to read them in order as long as you don't care about knowing who the couples are. In this one, we follow two rivals torn apart by a dark memory reunite on a deadly hunt in an irresistibly twisted fairy tale. We have Gabriel Axton, infamous as the Prince of Gluttony, the self-proclaimed rake of rakes who has always lived for indulgence in delicious food and tantalizing women, and most of all in the thrill of the hunt where his love of danger can take over. But when his favorite adventure takes a deadly turn, he realizes something is very wrong in his demon court. With the clock ticking, he must turn to the only one who might uncover the truth, a journalist he has spent years avoiding. Adriana has been on the hunt for years. If she could just report something damning enough about that no-good scoundrel Gabriel, she knows others would finally see the demon the way she does. But she never expected to turn up a rumor too terrifying to be believed. Could the ice dragons to the north be growing restless? Drawn into the secrets of the underworld, Adriana follows her investigation into the place she dreads most, Axton's infamous court. So look, we got the snowy, cold setting. We have ice dragons. We have a enemies to lovers type situation going on. This was a fun time. She's a thick one, but she's a fun time for sure. And lastly, I'm going to recommend to you 12 Dates of Christmas by Rousey Adams. And in this one, we follow Rashad and Zia, who weren't just friends, they were friends plus fondness, friends plus undeniable chemistry, friends plus passion. Zia cuts off their friendship unexpectedly, and 6 years fly by. After an unexpected meeting, Rashad wants a chance to convince Zia that they are. Rashad wants a chance to convince Zia. Am I saying Zia or Zia, baby? I don't know. That although they had been good as friends, they would make better lovers. Can these 12 dates throughout Christmas convince Zia to give their love a chance? Or will Rashad spend another Christmas without her by his side? Cute, fun time, 12 dates. You know what I'm saying? It gives vibes. So yeah, these are the recommendations that I have for you. I hope that you found at least one book that sounds interesting to you that you haven't read before. And if you do take any of these recommendations, please let me know in the comments what you thought. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, anything that you do to support me and my channel. It is very much appreciated, and I hope you have a great holiday season no matter what you celebrate. And remember to take care of yourself. Have the best day that you possibly can, friend, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.